Okay, now we're back.
Okay, we're back. We're
So,
here. We got the things working, and we got a heated episode for
everything.
y'all because it's
Yes.
political.
So, welcome to As the Pages Turn. This will be very political. I say this right off the bat. So, all our book people who don't necessarily there's a lot of book people fired up today, though. So, really,
Well,
if you're a
yeah,
book
even the
person and you're
book
fired
talk has
up,
been on and on and
yes,
on
you
about this
can.
exact subject because even everybody on book talk is mad because
Yes.
even though some people like to say this, books are very, very
Yeah.
political.
We're not even going to discuss the obvious there because it's fucking obvious.
Anyone who says fairy tales ain't for grown folk really needs to get out more. Curse of the Frog Prince, parts 1 and 2, available now on Amazon Books. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming.
So,
Yeah.
we are talking about ICE, as the title suggests. So, if you're a book person and you're fired up and you want to stay around, perfect. Stay around. We're here for it. We are going to go over serious shit.
Yes, and also thank you for paying attention to the title and the thumbnail.
Yeah, there will be no laughing down the road there, or if there is any laughter, it's really just us trying to lighten the load. So
it's us trying to calm ourselves down because we are upset about this.
Very, very not happy.
This is a lot. Even people I watched on their podcast were literally screaming. Like, I mean it, Mia. They were screaming on their podcast because they were so upset. And I can't blame them.
No, I mean, it's ridiculous that any of this is happening. And it's ridiculous that, people want to lie, twist, try to put media fucking twisty shit. It's all ridiculous. So anyways,
and tiresome.
If you've been under a rock or a snowstorm. So first of all, before we get in all the ice crap is literally just about ice, but for anybody who is affected by the huge snowstorm right now, please stay inside, please stay warm, please try to either leave your faucets dripping, take care of yourselves, have bottled water, do all the good things you need to do, and don't drive around. However, for Minneapolis, because I know a lot of you are protesting, I mean, go out there, but be warm and safe, okay?
And make sure to have a mask. Make sure to have some milk.
Yes. And make sure you have groups. Stay in groups. Do not.
Yeah, and stay in a group. Don't be by yourself.
Get fucking separated by these bitches. So
and be cautious because they may try to go after you.
Well, of course. I mean, that's what we're talking about today. So
I know that's why I'm throwing that in there.
What we're talking about today is that obviously the ICE stuff is ramped up, and me and Crystal, I think, have been talking about it the whole time. Every episode we've been talking about politics.
Yes, and also speaking of politics, thank you to everybody who has been disliking our shorts in support of ICE. We really, really appreciate
attention, Crystal. We're not giving them attention. Anyways,
we appreciate you for helping
they get
us
no attention. Stupid people do not get attention.
Anyway, I had to make us laugh before we got into this.
So anyways, we are talking today because obviously another unaliving has happened by ICE today. And
yes, unfortunately.
Yesterday or the day before.
Yesterday, at the timing of the recording of this podcast, it was yesterday.
Yeah, so we are talking about, so first it was obviously Renee Good, and now it's been Alex Pretti. I'm not entirely sure how to say his last name. I don't want Pretti, I think. So anyways, it's not just two people, right? Because there have been people who are being unalived in their detention centers. There are people who are getting injuries from all of the chaos they are creating. So it's not just these two people who have been unalived. There are a lot of people who have been affected, hurt, and a lot of other shit by the Gestapo, because let's be real, that's all the fuck they are, is Gestapo. And so today we're talking about it because I think, we as Americans have to talk about this. We
can't ignore it. We can't sit back and relax and pretend like everything is okay.
And I say, that's why I'm saying, because we do, me and Crystal separate our episodes from book to politics because obviously, there are times where you can't take anymore, right? You need to take a break. You need to step away. You have to take a breath because it's too much BS going on. And especially when you have what some of the stuff we're talking about today is our government actively lying to us and trying to tell us you didn't see what the fuck you saw. right?
Yeah, tell us our eyes
So
aren't working and
yeah.
not to pay attention to what's in front of us.
Yeah. So it's like when you have that kind of stuff happening, it's hard to just, there are times that you want to step back from it and you don't want to, like, you need a breath, right? And so I think it's like, that's why we separate our episodes, because there are times we get it. You know, if you sometimes you just want to read a book, watch a movie,
Take a little bit of a breath.
Yeah. And so it's like, that's why we separate our episodes. But I think today's episode is very much, and I've seen a lot of, Instagram's been exploding. TT, by the way, if you don't know, TT has now gone to Oracle. They finalized their purchase. So, or the 51%, however the fuck the deal is. And so TT has today been utter shit for doing anything. Like, you cannot, if you're doing anything political, your videos are being basically shadow banned. If you're trying to get into lives, that's not happening. So it is very kind of crazy right now, because you have I mean, I'm not going to say they're actively suppressing TT, but they're definitely doing some shit behind the scenes.
They're doing something funky. We just don't know what it is.
Yeah, but it's like, if you're a person who wants to talk about this, I don't care what community you're in, this needs to be talked about, because we have some active bullshit. So the first story we're going to hit is Renee Good. And if you don't know who Renee Good is, and I actually love this, that there's the Wikipedia page about this with the K word. And me and Crystal were just talking for a few minutes, because I was like, I'm not sure what YouTube is going to like let us say and let us not say. So other than the F word, we're trying really hard to not like.
We're not trying to swear up a storm and say a bunch of other words.
It might be failing,
you know, we will. Well, you know, I will, and Mia will try to calm me down. Now say, do not silence me.
Well, and I'm not. I mean, I'm not trying to cuss as much, but I'm going to be cussing a lot. So we have. It's actually an article on Wikipedia. Please go support it. And it's, by the way, it's in 28 different languages, which tells you how far-reaching this stuff is. Like, and I think it's interesting that there are some Americans who are like, oh, you know, nobody's really, no, the whole world is fucking watching. If you don't think the world is watching, you're
trust me, the world is watching. Something you guys need to remember, America has been the standard since World War II. We were the supposed shining city on the hill, which I might add, I don't know where all the shininess was. I don't know why you and I missed out on the shiny, easy type thing other countries say we have.
It's because we read history books. We read history books, Crystal, so we know what actually happened.
Yeah, well, that and we live here. But either way, I'm making the point. The entire world always looks to the USA. And now, because of the way things are, the entire world is now, many, especially Europeans, are trying to figure out how to get away from the USA. And we are losing our ability to be the standard.
Yeah. So let's start with Renee Good. So on January 7th, 2026, if you've seen the videos, there is this very sweet woman who's in a car who, yes, does not like ICE. The fact that ICE is going after one of her neighbors.
But she even told the ICE agent when he got in her way, I'm not mad at you. It's okay.
So she was in a car. The ICE agent, Jonathan Ross, who should be arrested for,
should be in jail and facing charges.
And anyway, so he walks up to her car, stops sideways in the street, and he was walking around her car and then walked back, like was walking around. Other agents were coming. And here's the thing, this is something that actually got mentioned, but funnily enough, I didn't see it really put out there on mainstream media, but I saw a lot of fucking people posting about this on TikTok and other places where they talk about like police officers and shit are trained to not like go in front of fucking cars. But because we have just racist, cowardly, unalivers,
anybody, they're so desperate for people, they will take literally anyone.
Yeah, and they're not vetting them. They don't care. We'll get into that. They don't.
A reporter actually.
Well, we're gonna get up.
Okay, I didn't know you were going to that.
Crystal. Anyway, it's on there. I promise it's on there. So
okay, I didn't see it on the list.
It's on the list. We have a list, and it's Discord, so anyways, we have so the agents were approaching. One was trying to order her out of the car. Somebody else was going through, like trying to reach through her window. It's a whole thing of she reversed because she's trying to get away from him. But mind you, this is in Minneapolis, right? So it's fucking frozen there. Like right now, it's 0 degrees with a bunch of people protesting.
It is freezing and it's icy. They keep showing clips of it. It's cold, people. It's cold. I see people bundled up.
she's trying to back up. You have these like mofos surrounding her car, and then she's trying to reverse. She tries to move forward, and she's turning her car right. And you see this in the video. Like, I don't care what the fuck the cover story is, and I've heard all the versions, right? Oh, she threatened him with her car, and blah blah blah, and he had to do what he
turn a car. Lying sack of.
She literally was calm in the car and was like, she was actually really nice to them, right? Like, her partner was screaming at them, but she was being very nice.
Yeah, because like I said, she said, it's okay. I'm not mad at you. She was not trying to escalate the situation.
But they were, because they're racist, cowardly Gestapo.
Yeah, worthless pieces of word I'm not going to say.
Right. And so Ross then goes to stand in front of the front left side of the vehicle and then fires 3 pew-pews. Unaliving her. And then the car, of course, then because she's now unalive at this point, runs into a pole. It's a whole, like, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's
disgusting. I mean, just to unalive her for the sake of unaliving her. And then he cussed her out. He called her a B word.
Yeah, of course. So all these people, and so, you know, of course, the cover story started immediately. The law enforcement and our criminal in chief, because that's what he is, was saying, oh, it's self-defense. She was trying to run. She was turning her car on an icy road. Like, what in the actual fuck are you? Because she literally sees her neighbor being harassed and is trying to help her neighbor. And like, it just anyways, the lies boggle my mind.
I just thank God somebody caught this bullshit on film.
Yeah. There was multiple camera angles to the point that people had footage of her trying to turn her tires to the right to get away from the guy because she didn't want to hurt him on the car. So she's literally trying to, but it's an icy road. By the way, cars on ice, dumbasses, do not respond right away. It is very hard. Yeah. So like, you all trying to be like, well, she shouldn't have even been. Dude, she's literally in her car. I don't know if she was driving up or driving back. I'm not sure which. But she was trying. She sees her neighbor getting harassed. She's trying to help her neighbor. She's in her car. Her wife is out there also very, like, there's a lot of neighbors out there at this point who are getting really upset. They're trying to be like, what the fuck are you doing? Because I'm sorry. This whole, and this is what pisses me off about this fucking cover story is the cover story for this and for Alex, and we'll get toAlex, is that, oh, well, they're law enforcement. And no.
Law enforcement, that's not a cop.
They're custom.
Okay, that is not a cop.
Immigration and custom enforcement. What part of that says police officer?
It's not the police. These are nothing but the brown shirts. This is nothing but some brown shirt bullshit.
It's ridiculous to me that the cover story for them is, well, they were law. No, they're not. They're fucking custom enforcement. They are not supposed to be acting like police officers. They're not supposed to be acting like fucking stupid ass SWAT team.
If anything, they shouldn't even have guns.
Exactly, but they are, because they've been told by our now our government's always had racist shit, right? But they've been told by our now very clearly racist government that, oh, it's okay, because as long as you're trying to get the people who don't look like us, it's okay. It's okay to pew people. It's okay to fight them and start off. And because you have, and here's the thing, I'm not gonna, now honestly, I wish the police would be more out there trying to defend people. I'm not going to throw them to the fire entirely. I think it's half in, half out, because they are being told that they're supposed to be staying out of this and letting ICE do whatever the fuck they want. So I am not throwing all of the police in the fire, but what I am saying is, if you are a police officer and you see your community under attack, you see children. I mean, a 5-year-old child just got fucking detained for being a different color. Like, exactly. If you're seeing this shit, you should be defending your community.
A 5-year-old child who wasn't even supposed to be taken, a judge ordered in the courts that to leave him and his family alone, and they took him and his father, and they tried to use him as a lure to grab the rest of his family.
Well, of course. So it's like, here's the thing: is that you can, and I know they have all the good cover stories. Well, they're law enforcement. No,
good cover stories. You mean all the bullshit cover stories we're supposed to just go along with?
They're custom enforcement. They're not fucking police officers. They're not the fucking FBI. They're not the fucking CIA, which they seem to think they are. And this is all criminal fucking shit they're doing.
This is also the Gestapo mess.
Yeah. So anyways, their cover story for her was that she was trying to attack with the car. And of course, the mayor, Jacob Frey, the governor, Tim Walz, all of them are saying, get the fuck out of our city because you've now unalived somebody. So there is now, of course, more protests start. More people, thousands, hundreds of thousands in Minneapolis, like this frozen fucking wasteland at this point, are now going on the streets. All the businesses, and I respect this, by the way. Minneapolis, you are doing what you should be doing, and you are showing the rest of us how to do it. And I commend that. And I just keep telling you guys to be strong and keep doing it, because they have shut down and
stay warm.
They have canceled all the schools. They have shut down all their businesses. They are, and actually the Hilton in that state, in that city, kicked the ICE agents out after that happened. And then of course the Hilton brand, I don't know what happened. There was a whole thing there too.
The Hilton brand said, I think they're trying to disconnect from that one and saying, oh, everybody's welcome, including ICE agents. So everyone is making a point to boycott Hilton and all affiliated Hilton hotels.
So we have that. And then,
which means we can't stay at the Hilton when we go to our next event.
Yeah. And so this happened, right? And that's their cover story. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about Renee, because the people who are trying to defend their neighbors are heroes, and they're the ones that we should be focusing on. So Renee Nicole Good was born April 2nd, 1988. She obviously was unalived on January 7th. She was a U.S. citizen. She was a writer and a poet. So obviously, if your book talk, that should make
she was one of our people.
Yeah, basically. She lived in Minneapolis with her partner, and she had a 6-year-old child. So this is a mother and a writer and somebody who was doing good things for her community and trying to look out for her neighbors, right? And so she had she literally was just this good person she was a nice person,
not causing any trouble. Yeah. But this man just decided to end her life for no reason other than maybe he was irritated. I don't know, because I can't justify doing that.
Yeah. And so Jonathan Ross, who I don't know that I don't even know that he's been arrested, because Kristi Noem and Vance have been running around saying, oh, he was injured in a traffic stop 6 months prior. And so clearly that's why he was motivated.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna actually believe the words of a puppy killer.
Right. Oh yeah, let's not even talk about Kristi Noem. All the wish I have for Kristi Noem is that she be given all the karma that she has put out in full times 20.
Me too.
Yeah. So then that happens, right? And so people are pissed. There are more protests. People are just fed up because these Gestapo, and this is what they are running around. And if you don't know what that means, by the way, feel free to look it up. You have an internet. Until the government shuts us down and tells us that we need to only listen to them, we have the internet. So use it. And so we now go to yesterday, where the next unaliving happens. And by the way, there was the 5-year-old child who was yanked away from his family and used as bait. There are several. I think
there was also another little girl who was yanked away when she wasn't supposed to be.
So there's multiple things going on to United States citizens and to immigrants. And that shit's not the fuck okay, because by the way, if you don't fucking know, in our Constitution, anybody is due for due process. You are allowed to make your case. This is not I can unalive everybody because they're, and this is, by the way they've been phrasing it, which is dangerous as fuck, is, oh, well, they're interfering with ICE. Okay, but people interfere with police shit all the time, and I don't see people getting half the time. I'm saying half the time because there are times that there are times that happen,
but we're not getting into that.
But what we're talking about is interfering, filming what they're doing, showing them for the cowards they are is not a fucking crime. That is not a crime in this country. So if you think that filming them trying to be monsters is a crime, I suggest you look up laws or something. I don't know, because y'all are acting real fucking stupid out here with some
beyond stupid. Okay, Mia, stupid is an understatement. This is beyond being a fucking idiot.
Mm-hmm. And so now we have yesterday where a 37-year-old intensive care nurse, and by the way, as somebody who is in healthcare, this is some fucking, I mean, even just as a person, this is bullshit. But as somebody who knows how hard healthcare people work to take care of our patients, defend people, like in any situation, if you have a nurse, a CNA, a doctor, most of the time, if somebody is on the ground or somebody looks hurt, they're the first people, even if they're not the
usually first.
They're the first person to respond. I have seen numerous times where people who were off the job and something happened, they're the first person to be like, okay, what do you need me to do? I'm calling 911. I'm going to help you up. I'm going to do whatever. So basically, this man, Alex Pretti, was an intensive care nurse, and he basically was he was holding a phone in his hand, and he was trying to help a woman up that ICE was attacked.
Yes, they were attacking her. They were pepper spraying her, all the stuff.
Yeah, there was multiple videos. And when I say multiple, by the way, if you have young children in the room, don't watch the videos. I mean young children. I think obviously 10 and up, maybe you should see this. And maybe not even 10.
Well, the discretion of the parents, what they think their child can handle.
It is not, everything was caught on tape. Everything. And so what actually happened, not what the government is saying, not what half the news media is saying, what actually happened is that Alex saw this person on the ground getting hurt. He had a phone in his hand. He went to help her. 6 ICE officers tackle him to the ground, pew him in the back, firing at least 5 to 10 shots.
And they did douse him in pepper spray or whatever the heck that spray is.
One eyewitness said he wasn't even facing them when they grabbed him. And a witness was saying that he was trying to resist. He was just trying to help a woman up. So he wasn't resisting. He was literally trying to help this poor woman up. Okay. He's a U.S. citizen who is a nurse who has because by the way, you cannot be a nurse if you have a criminal record. Fun story. It can't happen. We get vetted 20 ways to Sunday. Okay.
Well, after some stories I heard, I'm not surprised.
So basically so immediately the government is saying, by the way, the government called him a domestic terrorist. The government said that, well, he had a gun. Well, no, what he had was a lawful permit to carry. So by the way, what that means is he could have had a gun on him, but it was not out. It was not in his hand. All he had was a phone.
Nothing. He did have a pew-pew, but he did not have it pulled out. He didn't have it pointed at anybody. It was completely in the holster.
And so their bullshit.
And he had a permit to do that.
So their bullshit cover story is, oh, well, ICE officers it was complicated. It was violent. And
complicated,
this is how they said it. This is how they said it that enrages me. He interrupted an ICE operation. I'm sorry. I'm going to search the internet right now. Is interrupting investigation? We'll say investigate. I'll even be fucking nice because they're not investigating. They're just Gestapo.
They're just doing random shit they feel like doing. These aren't even professionals.
Murderable offense. Oh, look, the internet says no. It's known as obstruction of justice, and you can sue somebody for it. They can take you to court for it, but
they can't kill you
be unalived for it. So this is bullshit. And so there was tons of videos. There was tons because multiple people, because if you don't know, and me and Crystal have said this before, we have told people, get your phone out, record. If you see some shit go, fucking record.
Live stream preferably, but make sure you get that on video. There's a camera everywhere nowadays.
And I guess now we have to wear bulletproof vests.
Yeah, that would be good. Add that to your shopping list, people. Buy a bulletproof vest. Trust me, bulletproof vest. You're going to need it. You actually put one on the kids too.
So and you think it can't get worse? It can, because now on top of this, what they're being so the government came out calling him names, saying horrible things. And by the way, we have a statement by his parents that I'm also going to read. And I'm going to say that in a few minutes. But basically, they are trying to say that, so the government basically locked down the scene and the Minnesota officials are trying to investigate. So a judge granted a temporary restraining order that Homeland Security cannot destroy or alter evidence. However, federal investigators have refused to allow access to the scene despite the state obtaining a search warrant. So basically, ICE is being allowed to unalive people and get away with it. There's nothing, there's no other way to say that. There's nothing, that is just what it is. And the
there's no
government
way
cover-up
to
story,
say it other than what it is, and there's no way to escape the rage about this because that's just wrong.
It's beyond fucking wrong. So now, and I'm going to read you the statement by his parents, which I posted. You'll actually see it in a short on this channel, and I posted everywhere. I think Crystal's posting it everywhere too. Like, we're all fucking like just fed the fuck up, right?
We're past fed. We can post it everywhere, but unfortunately, also people, you will not see it on our TikTok page via the new management. TikTok is under. We are still scoping out because a lot of political content from other political creators has been suppressed. Yet they've been reporting that it's being suppressed. So right now, for the sake of maintaining our TikTok channel, we are not posting our political stuff here. We are posting it, on TikTok, we are posting it here and on our other pages.
Yeah, so they're on, so like my personal TikTok, my personal Instagram, I know Crystal's going to do that too. And so here's the statement by his family, by the way. His family says, his parents, we are heartbroken, but also very angry. Alex was a kind-hearted soul who cared deeply for his family and friends, and also the American veterans who he cared for. As an ICU nurse at the Minneapolis VA hospital, Alex wanted to make a difference in this world. Unfortunately, he will not be with us to see his impact. And I have to pause because this makes me like, I can't even with this shit with them.
I can't either. It makes me feel a lot of rage, a lot of just surging rage. Throughout this recording, you have caught me catching myself not trying to go off because I am at that level where I am past fuming. I am enraged. I'm tired of all of this. I have been tired of it. I've been telling you almost every day when we talk in private. I'm tired of this. This is not how we are supposed to live, in fear of if we stand up for somebody being unalived. We should not be constantly scared all the time. People should never fear their government. A government should always fear and understand that they work for the people.
Exactly. And so, his parents continue. I do not throw around the hero term lightly. However, his last thought and act was to protect woman. The sickening lies told about our son by the administration, which they are sickening, disgusting, and terrible lies.
Beyond disturbing.
Beyond. Are reprehensible and disgusting. Alex is clearly not holding, because by the way, the government's narrative, as we said, is they are trying to tell people, oh, he had a gun. He had a gun. Every single video footage of this bullshit shows him with a phone. It is a phone. It is how it's, and there's a George Orwell quote that a lot of people have been posting, and I will put that on here too, because it is very apt for what's going on. But sorry, let me finish this. So, Alex is clearly not holding a gun when attacked by Trump's murdering and cowardly ICE thugs, aka Gestapo. He has his phone in his right hand, and his empty left hand is raised above his head while trying to protect the woman ICE had just pushed down while being pepper sprayed. Please get the truth out about our son. He was a good man. Thank you. It's fucking sad that they have to say that because their government is telling people, oh, he's a terrorist. He was going to hurt people. He was trying to help a woman who had just been pepper sprayed to stand up. How the fuck in this video?
Oh, how dare that horrible man try to help somebody who was injured and in pain.
Exactly. And it's just I don't even know.
It's as a good person, and it's just even as a good person, somebody who has a heart in general, I can't take this bullshit. I mean, we're dealing with a bunch of people. They aren't even trained because there was a reporter who, just to find out, she was trying to sign up for ICE just to find out how the operation goes. Yeah. They barely asked her anything, weren't even trying to do a freaking background check, which you're supposed to do for the safety of the public. And they didn't care.
No.
Just already signed her up.
Yeah. So there was to finish the Alex part up, there's a really good quote by George Orwell that's going around right now. And if you haven't read 1984, it's basically about a totalitarian government trying to take over and kind of what's going on in that society. And so one of the quotes from the book is, "The party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command." And that, I think, is, and it's been posted everywhere today, but for anybody who might be confused, it's basically when something happens and you see it with your own fucking eyes, because we have 6 camera views of what went down. And of course, our government is like, "Oh, but don't believe that. Don't believe your eyes.
Don't believe your eyes, people. Don't believe your eyes. Just believe what I tell you.
Because we are your gods. You have to believe us. We are the ones in charge. We are clearly the only ones who know what's going." Like, it's complete and utter bullshit. And yeah. So then we talk, next topic is that let's talk about like the people they're hiring, because it isn't just, so there was an anti-Trump journalist who, by the way, has numerous articles about her. Like, you can research her name on Google and within 5 seconds you will see Laura Jadid is a reporter that has actually been listed on lists by the government as someone who's like Antifa, that kind of bullshit, because they don't like her coverage of them.
Yeah, she's probably Antifa. Of course, technically we're Antifa, but anyway.
So she decided, she saw that she was getting an ad to offer to work for ICE, right? And so she decided to say, okay, I'm going to, because she, in her head, she talked, because I watched the interview with her. She's a very good speaker. She was talking about how, like, oh, I didn't even think they'd actually reply or be serious, because I'm very well known. Like, I'm on a list. They know me very well. So she just assumed that, like, okay, I'll apply for this and they're going to like laugh me out of the room when I come in, right? And she'll write a story about it.
You would assume.
So this happened on January 15th. So she was offered a job with ICE. She had a 6-minute interview with them without her having to write a single signature on agency paperwork. And she literally went down there. They were offering on-the-spot hiring for deportation officers. And so she's been in the military and she's been deployed to Afghanistan twice. So she was like, okay, I'll try to do this. They won't accept it, but okay, you know. And she talks about, the 38-year-old is a Trump critic, describes herself as anti-ICE. She assumed would roll her out of contention for a role and picked up vetting. However, after booking an appointment with the recruiting officer and the short interviewer, the interviewer asked her name, date, age, and then any law enforcement or military. And so she told them what happened. And she was told that if she were hired, she would be unlikely to hit the streets right away. So she suggested she might be more comfortable with the desk job. She claims to have noticed a shift from the officer who told her, just to be upfront, the goal is to put as many guns and badges out in the field as possible. So this, like, and it's this, by the way, this is not the only story about this. There's a lot of stories about what people are being told, but I think this one clearly shows that they are not hiring official police officers. They are not hiring.
This is nothing but a group of thugs. All they want is a group of thugs.
They're basically making a gang of secret police who can go out on the streets because they don't have enough people, and they have people quitting because people are getting exposed. By the way, good job to all the hackers, because by the way, I commend all of the hackers out there who are doing their best to put out names of people who are in ICE and showing the shit they're doing. They all get gold stars. I don't give a fuck.
Thank you for doing your job, doing something to try to help people, protect us from these nasty humans.
Yeah, the government has made it very clear that they are going to lie to us. They are going to hide the truth. I mean, the obvious fucking, like, shit we can see with our own eyes, okay? And so, you know, if these hackers who are exposing the shit the ICE is doing, more the merrier. Please come. I don't care where you're from. Have fun. Hack everything. Feel free to hack Kristi Noem's cell phone and expose all the terrible stuff she's saying. Like, I don't give a fuck. By the way, allegedly. I'm alleged opinion.
Allegedly, she doesn't care, and I allegedly do not care if these ICE agents get exposed. I allegedly.
I get caught up in the anger that I gotta remember. Yeah, just in case.
The word for this channel is allegedly, or I do not recall.
Here is your word of the day: allegedly. So
predominantly, allegedly.
Yeah. So, and so I think we have this where then, so just to go forward, she received an email on the 3rd, which she actually got an offer. And she said she was really fucking surprised because she assumed they would research her at least a little bit. And clearly they didn't, because I can tell you right now, I can look up her name and like the first thing that comes up is that she's a journalist who has reported, I mean, the third pop-up, other than the first two are about this. The third pop-up is probably the first one they would have seen. Says she's a keynote speaker. She talks about a wide range of topics, and she talks about deportation and how far Trump is going. Like, she's talking about, it's very obvious. You could research her in 2 seconds. So this is basically to show, like, if they're willing to, like, they're not researching her, and that's somebody they wouldn't want to hire, right? Like, there's no way you can tell me the government wants to hire a reporter to put all their shit out there. Not only did she get the job offer, okay. Brought to you by Technical Difficulties.
Our sponsor, Technical Difficulty, who has apparently spilled into our friend group because they have been talking about our sponsor.
Right. Like, Technical Difficulties, really. I want to know, can we, like, find a way to see who can pay us for Technical Difficulties? Because, man.
Can we get a sponsor besides Technical Difficulties?
Right? That would be nice. So, Jadid says she completed none of the steps required, but nonetheless received a follow-up email 3 weeks thanking her for her proceeding and asking her to submit a drug test. And literally, they sent her all these forms, and she
thought she was going to fail that drug test, I'm going to add.
Yeah, no, but she didn't do any of it. So she went, she did the drug test, and 9 days later logged into the jobs website, and somehow, despite never submitting any of the paperwork, not the background check, not the ID, not the domestic violence affidavit, none of it, they offered her a job.
Yeah, but I was saying, because she admitted she took a particular substance that, we're trying to fight to legalize, but she thought she failed the drug test.
She said in an interview that she was smoking a flower of the Mary Jane persuasion, and she's pretty sure she was going to fail. So she's like, surely after this point, and no, she then said she logged into the site after that she had accepted a final offer, and as of September 30th had been entered on duty assigned to her home state of New York. She said, by all appearances, I was a deportation officer without a single signature on agency paperwork. ICE had hired me. So yeah, and so she actually said that she looked at the website later, and it showed her as having passed a fitness test and a background check on October 6th, despite it being only October 3rd at the time. She did, by the way, though, everybody, it's okay, she declined the position. But it
was way too easy for her to get in there.
No,
and she was expecting somebody to say no.
There seems to be this, and I'm not going to sit here and for anybody who is like hate listening to this and like wants to be like, well, they're law enforcement. But no, they're literally just hiring mostly racist people off the street and telling them, here is your pew, here is your badge, here's your mask, because we're cowards, we can't show our faces. Go forth and destroy society. That's what they're doing. They're not vetting them. It doesn't even sound like they paid attention to the drug test results, because in half the states
paid attention. I don't even think they ran it, huh? I don't even think they ran it.
So like, how are you gonna, this is what I love, is that even a part of their cover story, they're like, oh, but they're ICE agents, they're vetted, they're not.
They were never vetted. These are random thugs.
Yes, who have, I will give them that they did actually check her military experience, because I feel like they must have, and that's why they accepted. So that's the only thing they're paying attention to. And you know why they want military experience? Fun fact. They know that a lot of these National Guard people are based in their home state. So they know that a lot of National Guard people are not going to like tolerate their communities. So they're trying to get all the military people they can, so that if a showdown comes between experienced, like if states start using their National Guard to defend the people, which they haven't yet, but I'd love to see it.
Well, they need to, because it's got to get to the point where the governors are sending the National Guard in to protect the people from ICE. This is ridiculous.
No, and they deployed the National Guard in Minneapolis, but that's because of the protesters, the fascist protesters.
Yeah, forget the protesters. The protesters, from what I've seen, haven't done shit. But these ICE agents.
Oh yeah, no, the ICE agents are going out, they're unaliving people. They don't give a fuck. And it's like they've now, and it's not just 2 people that they haven't unalived. It's multiple people that they put in detention camps in like unhuman conditions, which we already, by the way, if you don't know about that, we've talked about that on previous episodes, especially what is it, the Gator one? I even forget what the fuck it's called. Half these
Alligator Alcatraz.
Yes, that.
Of course, we call it Alligator Auschwitz.
Basically. So it just astounds me that anybody is still defending. Am I surprised? No, because even Nazi Germany had people supporting them. Okay, so like
that's how it came to be.
I know, and so it's just, but it's like it just blows my mind, because it's funny is the party, a lot of the people in the party who are defending this are the same people who say, oh, well, we don't want the government to interfere in our business. We don't want the government to interfere in our money. Okay, so you don't want them to interfere in your money and business, but you're okay with them unaliving people for taking pictures and videos. Okay, that makes all the sense. So much sense. I don't know how it doesn't make. Anyways, yeah. So I think I'm almost out of rage.
I think I'm still filled with unrelenting rage. I'm just impressed with the 2 of us. I'm going to give us the 2 of us a pat on the shoulder. Yay! We were able to maintain our composure while reporting on this, because before we even started, we were worried one of us was going to, well, really one or both of us was going to shout. We were prepared. Yeah, it was going to be both of us probably. If one shouted, the other one wasn't going to stop him and just join in. But we were worried we would get shouty, especially we watch other podcasters reporting on this, and they've gotten to the point where they were screaming, and I don't criticize them for that, because this is beyond ridiculous.
I don't honestly, like, the fact that I'm not breaking down crying, which I was earlier, and the fact that, like, you're not, like, both of us have been raging all day today. So, like, it's just literally like, you know, you get to a point that you're so tired of the bullshit that you're just tired of reacting to the bullshit. And it's like, I've had so many, like, I think we've both had so many reactions to, because we've been reacting to the ICE stuff. When
we were reacting to it before we even decided we were going to record on this today.
Yeah, right. So it's like, we've been talking about what's been going on with ICE for months. And it's like, I feel like people are finally listening, because people are now unaliving. And it's sad to me that it took people unaliving for people to wake the fuck up and realize this is a fucking problem.
Well, for more people to wake the fuck up. I don't know if enough people have woken up yet. You still have those who will try to daydream and pretend like it's not that serious.
Oh, but Crystal, you wanted to talk about the church thing. So
I'm going
to let you talk about that. So go for it.
I'm going to talk about that real quick. We were going to put it in a short, but I think we should just talk about it now, because we are talking about Renee Good. Because I want to highlight that jackass who shot her.
Yes.
He is supposedly a pastor, supposed to be a man of the cloth, a man of God.
Yep.
And so protesters went to the church of which he preaches at, because he murdered an innocent woman. You know, he decided not to be there that particular Sunday. Protesters came to protest in his church, in that church, because, you know, you call yourself a man of God. You're supposed to be a follower of Jesus, and you do things like this. Don Lemon, many of you may know, former reporter for CNN. Now he has his own show on YouTube and TikTok where he does reporting on events. He went to the church to report on it. He didn't go to join the protesters. He didn't go to start some mess. He went to report on what was going on. And in response, these people who work for the orangutan in the White House,
criminal in chief, let's give him his title.
The guy who's doing all this illegal stuff, and he's just a criminal, his people decided to charge Don Lemon with, I believe, what is called the KKK Act, which was something that was come up especially for the Klan, that this government made because the Klan was blowing stuff up every 5 minutes. They tried to charge him with that. Now, a judge rightfully called that bullshit and threw it out. But you gotta think about this. All the man did was report on the issue. He wasn't trying to take sides of stuff. He just reported on it, and they want to charge him with something that serious?
Of course. But then there's the other part of this, which I think you were getting to, but also, like, so there's that part where he got that, they tried that bullshit bullshit on Don Lemon. And then also though, in the church, there wasn't this at the same time, there was another protest going on, and they were literally like, people were going in there to be like, what the fuck are you doing? And the other pastor who was preaching was like, oh, because they were asking him questions like, how can you defend this person who just on a lot, like, that's not a Christian thing to do, right?
Yeah, it really is beyond Christian. If you believe that's a Christian thing to do, then you never read that book.
Right. Well, I think a lot of them have not read that book, but
the majority of them
about, they were talking about, he was like being a smartass and basically being like, oh no, we accept all people and da 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 da. And so
yeah, he does not.
Yeah, no.
Well,
so it's just it's ridiculous that, like, I mean, am I surprised that it was this? And is it confirmed that
I wasn't surprised? It's just sad. You call yourself followers of Christ, and yet you are okay with this. You are okay with someone harming people. Yeah. That is not. Do you not understand what Jesus was talking about at all?
Well, here's the thing.
Clearly, they don't.
I mean, let's talk about, we were talking about the formula story where none of these churches gave a fuck about a woman with a kid who's hungry.
Well, I think it was like 4 churches who cared. Just 4.
Yeah. We talked about like the 4 to like 9 in the end who cared.
I don't think it was 9 because I think a bunch of them were all in the same group, but still.
Yeah. So it's not surprising because like, let's be real, a lot of, and I'm not dissing on the Christian faith. That's not what I'm doing. Because there are people who, like you and other people, who believe in the faith and actually practice what it teaches. But there's a lot of people who have used Christianity.
Well, they're Christian in name only. It's like, during the Crusades when the church would just say you're absolved and these people do terrible things. That's basically what this is.
Yeah. And so it's just, am I surprised that this guy is a pet? No, I'm not. Like,
I wish I could say that was surprising.
Right.
It'd be nice if we could.
If he was like a good like, I'd be more surprised if somebody was like, no, he's a great guy. No, nobody's the fuck said that. So it's
only people saying that are members of that church he supposedly preaches at, where he gets to stand at the pulpit and say he's a follower of Christ while he helps their buddy say. Anyway, I'm getting myself too heated.
Take a deep breath.
Have to calm down. Calm down, me.
So sorry, we're gonna have to cut out because I'm just like, I'm trying to take a deep breath because
we're trying to remain calm because what has happened. Okay, we might as well start getting to wrapping this up because I know both of us are really riled up by this because I was about to even go off when we finally got to the church part, and I've been trying not to. You guys caught me several times throughout this recording. Tempering myself and not fully saying what I want to say because I know I will go off. And if I go off, Mia this time will not stop me. If anything, she tried to join in with me. So we gotta keep it calm.
But I have some good quotes to end this episode on. So let's talk
let's have some good quotes. Something positive.
Not it's okay, just listen to the quote, then you'll see where I'm coming from.
Calming a little bit. Positive is.
Okay, well, anyways, so the first quote, I think, which is the best quote, is the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. And I think that is a very important quote for right now. And I think another one is Albert Einstein, who, everybody agrees, genius, like made a lot of shit happen for science.
He made a lot of shit happen for science, but I have mixed feelings about him.
Well, besides, don't come for my Albert. Leave my Albert alone. So
yeah, I would if I hadn't read the history about him. Brilliant man, but still.
Besides that, though, he did have a good quote, and it was, "The world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who watch them without doing anything." And so with those quotes, like, we need to be talking about this stuff. This is the time to think about it, the time to not react, the time to say, oh, well, maybe it's this or no. We're past that time. You guys.
That time was over a long time ago.
Yeah. So this is the time that you need to not just get out there and vote because the votes are coming up. That is important.
Yeah, but you have to raise awareness, call your representatives.
But also, I want people to go out there, find the community that, like, find the people who need help because, okay, you obviously people who are helping are getting unalived, and that's not good. That's not good. But here's the thing. If you stand by and do nothing, then you are part of the problem. If you stand by and you don't use your voice and you don't speak up, like, for example, I think I followed all the organizations in my community right now for Ice Watch. So, like, you can best believe if ice starts coming into my community, I'm going to be saying some shit. I'm going to try to volunteer to help people out who can't go to work, who can't buy food, because that's what you need to do to be a good person. Even if it's just posting on social media, because people are like, we got to get out and be fit. Okay, look, yes, you can go out there and be physical. That is very much appreciated, and help your community. Do what you can to help your community. But if you are online also saying stuff, that also puts pressure on the government. The whole point is you need to be using your voice. You need to be using your voice to defend
and spreading awareness.
Not just the people who unalived because they were trying to help their neighbors. We need to be defending the immigrants. We need to be defending the U.S. citizens who are descended from immigrants who happen to be the wrong color. Like, we need to be defending everybody who is being affected by the situation. You need to help your neighbor. You need to, and you know what? At this point, yes, could the cost be your life? Possibly. And that's a scary fucking thing.
Well, it's scary also because even if you don't get involved, the cost could still be your life.
Like, I think there are a lot of people who are like, oh, well, it'll get better. It's not going to get better unless we stand up. We literally have a group of people acting like the Gestapo from 1940s Germany.
Acting like the Gestapo, They are the Gestapo.
They are the Gestapo. If you don't understand what that means, please fucking Google. That's all. Like, read a book, Google, learn what that means. Because what that means to me, as somebody whose family immigrated here from Germany, from Hungary, and actually immigrated here before this shit went down because they weren't happy with what was going on in their country, so they left to go to, like, the promised land of jobs and money and stuff, right? And as someone whose family deliberately left before shit got bad because they did not want to stick around to see what was going on, it is, like, horrible to me that we are now in this situation where this shit is repeating. This is not okay. There are Holocaust survivors who are literally fucking talking, and I believe there's like 1 or 2 left, maybe 4 or 5, because a lot of them had passed. But there's Holocaust survivors. There are families of Holocaust survivors who are talking about this is exactly what happened. And there are people from that time who talked about how, first we saw this happen and we didn't say anything. Then we saw this happen and we didn't say anything. And then we saw this thing happen, and by then it was too late. So this is the time to talk. Even if you're just on social media, fucking say something. But if you're in your community, try to find your people who are being affected by these Gestapo motherfuckers and help them out. Buy groceries for them. Find a way to help them avoid detection. And is it fucking dangerous and scary? Yes. But are we at the point that we can't just sit back anymore? Also, yes. So we are going to end on, it's not necessarily a happy note, but it's a look at the people who are doing their best to fight this bullshit. And so let's just take a minute to focus on the hundreds of Minnesota businesses that closed and the schools that closed. And all of these people, organizers are encouraging residents to skip work, skip school, refrain from shopping, to oppose ICE. They are closing their businesses. On Friday, 100 clergy members. So let's talk about the good people who are trying to
the people who actually believe in what that book says and their other religious beliefs. Let's talk about the people who actually believe.
Yeah, so 100 clergy members were arrested at Minneapolis airport while holding a protest calling on U.S. airlines to refuse to transport detainees arrested by ICE. So then we have Bishop Dwayne Royster, who says we want ICE out of Minnesota. We want ICE out of every state with their extreme overreach. And his organization is Faith in Action. There's a lot of, and let's also encourage people. There's a lot of I believe there's a lot of food donations and money donations going on to Minneapolis. So look those up. Even if you can't be there, send a couple of dollars, send $1, send $5 to help them out. Okay. And that way, you know, you are doing, like, even if you do a little bit, that's the thing people don't realize. Even if you do a little bit, even if you talk online, even if you send a few dollars to a charity that's helping, like, even if you do a little bit, you are helping. And so that is important.
Yeah.
And anything else?
That, I think, is the last thing we needed to cover here.
Okay, so we're going to take a deep breath and run away.
Yeah, we're going to run away, take a deep breath. Mia will get to enjoy some ice cream or something, and I'll find something sweet to nosh on.
I'm still waiting on my chocolate. Actually, I was promised chocolate, and
I said, it's been so many months. My family is planning to visit Ghana again. I said I'd get you a fresh one there, and you're like, no, I want the old chocolate.
Now I'm gonna have to demand interest, because at this point it's been like 18 years.
18 years, nothing, and that's $30 chocolate you're demanding here, Missy.
So times 2.
So what, you want me to spend $60 on chocolate?
I'm not saying you should, but I'm saying to make up for the 26 years of waiting. The 80 years of anyways
80 years nothing. People, I didn't meet this woman till 2023.
Look, I don't know what you're talking. Crystal, we need to only say facts here. So anyway,
that is a fact mistake. Don't try to alter it.
Fake news. Anyways, so everybody, we hope you have a better night. If you are angry, if you are sad, that is okay. It is okay to be angry. It is okay to be sad. It is okay to talk about it and express yourself, because everybody should. Everybody, like, a lot of times to process stuff, people try to bottle shit up. Don't bottle it up. Put it out there, but also speak your piece and say, and you know, to all our book, I'll also end on the fact that we have a lot of book talk people who are now canceling book conventions in Minneapolis and other places where they know ICE is showing up, because they're thinking, Satana Knox. There's a lot of people who had book conventions planned who are now canceling them because safety first. And so, yes, if I don't care if you're a book talk person, I don't care what kind of person you are. If you think that you're going to be in a dangerous situation, don't go the fuck into it. Stay home.
Yeah.
Reach out to your neighbors, reach out to your friends, you know, say, hey, I can't do this. Can you help me with whatever? Like, the thing is that we need to keep helping each other and standing up for each other. And even if that's, you know, hey, I'm going to go to the store for you. What do you need? Even if that's talk to me for 20 minutes and tell me how you feel. Like, do whatever you need to do. But even the little stuff matters, because every good action that you put out there against this terrible shit helps. And just
every good action, the more good you try to spread, trust me, we will see results, and we'll start seeing things slowly turn in the direction we want to. And I guess we should end on that. And everybody stay warm. At the time of the filming of this video, there is still snow and ice hitting everybody. I thought I avoided it, but it looks like I even still have an ice warning. So people, be warm and be safe.
Yeah, stay warm, stay safe. If you're protesting in Minneapolis, thank you. And please stay warm. Please stay safe.
And if you're an ICE agent, everything's fine. Go hang outside in your shorts.
I noticed that there's negative 20 degree water. Go play in it.
Yeah.
Please go play in it. Go splash around. Anyways,
anything, use all that money the government's paying you to go to a nice water park right about now, now while it's cold.
Okay, everybody. So we love you and we appreciate you. Thank you for listening to Just All the Rage, and definitely leave us some comments. And to all of our new Republican following.
Yes, we appreciate our new Republican following. Keep commenting down in the comments to help our stats.
Evidently, y'all don't like. That's okay. We don't mind.
We don't mind. You can dislike the videos. Comment down below. It helps us do better.
Hey, if you want to be delusional and comment on our videos, who are we to keep you from having your happy moment?
Yeah, totally comment. We are here for it. Nothing you do really affects us, but go and do it.
All right. So everybody have a wonderful day and stay safe, stay warm, and come back next week. I'm sure we'll have something next week. We'll probably have
we'll probably have something on Book Talk finally. I'm actually still editing one of our Book Talk episodes, and I think we have something else we wanted to report on.
Book episode. We'll do more stuff. So please be safe. Please stay warm. Love you guys. Mwah.
Love you guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.